Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. Out and about already here this morning. Got my wood split and stacked up. Having my second cup of coffee. Early bird gets the worm. And while I was sitting in the hospital waiting room this week, I had a chance to surf the internet quite a bit and picked up on a few things that I wanted to talk about. And I wanted to touch base on a good friend of mine, and he's passed away here in the last few years. Learned a lot from this particular man, and he was probably the highest ranking corporate person that I ever knew in my life. And he said something to me many, many times that always comes back to me. And what it was is basically it's all lies at the top. And I think this is a particular way to look at the world in different situations and how they treat us little people. It's all lies at the top. They're never going to tell you exactly what's going on unless they want you to react in a specific or certain way. And he gave me many, many examples of this in the place that he worked, how they lied to people. They lied to him. He had to lie to other people to keep his job, and it was always BS. And I think when people look at the news and they look at stuff on the internet, they have to constantly keep that in the back of their mind. How is this news story that I'm reading right now, how is that trying to manipulate me into one particular opinion or another? Is it playing on my religious faith? Is it trying to work up my political leanings? Is it trying to cause fear in me so I react a certain way? We have to constantly, as preppers, when we're getting information, we have to sift all that. Just like you sift flour after you grind it. You grind your wheat and you sift it. You get out the bran and you get out the chaff and you get out the stuff so you actually get down to the stuff that's usable. And, I've noticed the last couple of weeks, there's this movie that's been put out on Netflix that was produced by a particular ex-president. And we actually watched this movie, and it was funny because I could pick out every specific thing in that show, what happened during this particular president's presidency. I could pick out those things. I said, oh, this happened during his tenure. And there were multiple things that were there. Some of them were very, very small. And even the different characters that were in that movie were based on certain people that he knew, but that's a whole nother deal. Well, then, right on the heels of that, that was a week or two ago when that particular movie came out. And then the day of my wife's surgery, when I was sitting in the hospital waiting room all day, there was one news article after another about a particular Asian country that has more or less infiltrated all of our electronic and cyber systems. I don't believe that is a coincidence at all, that those stories were released on the heels of this other movie. And generated quite a buzz. There was a lot of articles that day about the different things that they told you, that the different systems that they were in, this particular Asian country. Now, again, it's all lies at the top, and you have to sift everything. And I'm a firm believer in one of the best prepping skills that you can have is being able to read in between the lines. Look at what people are saying compared to what they are doing, and see if those two jive. If they don't jive, if they're saying one thing, doing another behind the scenes, and again, it goes back to they're not going to tell you anything unless it's a particular way to manipulate how you think and on your opinions. And that's the whole aspect of the negative aspects of leadership, right? They want the sheep to go into the pen so they can go some other place. We're not going to say what that place is, but I think you guys already know that. But then in the last day or so, there's been another movie that's popped up that talks about that's going to revolve around a hypothetical civil conflict here in the States. You don't think that releasing that at a particular time when there's all kinds of political division going on right now, you don't think that that's just mere coincidence, that the marketing people said this is a good time for us to release something like this so we can make some money? Or again, is that another facet of manipulating public opinion one way or another? Everything has to be sifted in this day and age because we have so much information that's coming directly into our lives that before, it was controlled by, newspaper, word of mouth, and then it went to radio, and then it went to TV, and now it's all done over the internet. So literally every person is carrying around a device that can feed them either information or BS, or the old begins with a P. I'm not going to say it, but all of that stuff. There's a direct conduit to pretty much every single person walking around, and we have to read in between the lines a lot as preppers, and that's going to continue, if not get worse. And so how do we go about combating that? Well, the stuff that's happening across the world on the other side of the planet, well, that can affect me. It can't affect me as much as locally. Things that are happening locally to me here are generally more important in my mind than the things that are taking place on the other side of the world. Well, those things can affect me in time. The stuff that's happening right here where I live is more important. So having good conduits of information by local authorities, people that work in emergency services, people that work inside of hospitals, close friends like what my friend was that I talked about there, that can help you sift that information in an efficient manner. I have several people that I know that are in different industries and are in different work different jobs or in emergency services around here locally, that if I see something locally or whatever going on, I can get with them and say, hey, what's going on with this situation here? Should we be doing this or that or whatever? And I know, because I know these people personally, I know I can get a straight answer from these people. And that's not something that you're going to get on the little devices that we're all watching this on right now. You're not going to get a straight answer on that. You're going to get the best information and the straightest information face to face, that human intelligence aspect of it. And the only way you're going to get that is knowing people around your area, whether they're friends or family members. That's where you're going to get your most important and your most pertinent information for what's going on and what can affect you directly. So keep that in mind. Just something that I noticed here, talking about all the stuff that I read on the internet while I was pretty much waiting. But I wanted to bring all this stuff to attention. I know people talk about it from time to time, but the old timers would always say, you don't believe anything you read and only half of what you see. And there you go. That's the little bit of advice from the old timers for you guys today. But anyways, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little information, a little entertainment, something to think about as always out of this video. And you guys have a good one.